welcome back to the Food for Thought. The trap the enemy wants us to fall into is worshiping the blessings rather than the blesser. How can you keep from seeking after the blessings that came from God's hand rather than seeking after God's face? Ask God this week to do a work in your heart so that you will live this blessed life and be able to help many people. These are great questions. I believe that so wholeheartedly the devil wants us to worship the wrong thing, worship the thing as opposed to the person giving us the thing. And one way that I think of that, we can keep from falling into that and really seeking God's face is really worshiping Him continuously, staying in a mindset of giving, staying in the mindset that is these are His things, this is His money, and He needs us. He needs to use us to be able to give to other people. So we have to really constantly stay in worship and stay humble and grateful for what we have, because the whole thing with seeking His hand is that that's all you will see. When all you want to see are things, when you're not being grateful and you're not you're being, I think pride kind of comes into that to play too. It's like, oh, I know God will just give me this and give me that, and you're not taking the time to really spend time with God and worshiping Him and truly being grateful and thankful. Your expectations become, I'm supposed to have things and He's supposed to bless me with them. That's who He is. And we get caught up in like that's all He is. He's just a giver. He just gives. That's all I need God for. We get caught up in too many things, and that's where you can come to a fall. Remember, pride comes before a fall. I feel like that comes into play a lot. So I just try to remain grateful and humble so that I'm mindful that it's not mine anyway. It's all His, and He's just using me to be able to help other people. But He also wants to bless me when I do have the right heart and the right attitude about it. So that's something that I try to do, just remain humble and grateful, so that it's not all about what He can do for me and, oh, I'm going to pray because I want this, or I'm going to give because I know I'll get something back. I'll get something back. It's like I just have to bring myself back to reality if I get to that thought level. So yeah, really, especially, this is, about to be the end of the year and going into a new year. I hope that your hearts have been changed in some way and transformed into a giver, into a person who can give to God and show God how much you love Him by giving to Him. And some of the stigma about giving, as far as, oh, I won't have anything, or, what are they going to do with the money? And, hopefully some of those things have, changed, or that they've gone out of your mind and your heart, and that God has shown you who He really is and what happens to that money, or showing you that you are well taken care of, that you will be provided for, because He is Jehovah Jireh. He's not going to let you just sit there and not have the things that you need and desire. So just remaining in faith is one of the things that can help to change your hearts about giving and about what God wants you to do in terms of giving, and that you'll be provided for it. Because your heart, if your treasure is the things that you have, then you're not there yet. And He'll help you get there. He definitely will. It doesn't end with this series. It's just beginning with the end of the series, to be honest. So hopefully that this has really helped to renew your mind, if you were a giver before and you kind of slid off, or to change your mind and change your heart if you never gave before, if you never saw things the way that God wants you to see them, and growing in His kingdom and helping to grow His kingdom, because it is about the kingdom itself. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and oh my goodness, next week is the last week for the Blessed Life, and stay tuned for that last week. It'll be a new year after that, and I'm glad you could join me. So hopefully this food for thought was enjoyable for you and that you learned something. So have a great week.